The rain was coming down in sheets, the kind that turns every headlight into a blinding white spear. Jake Harlan gripped the steering wheel of his 10-year-old pickup, squinting through the smeared windshield as he crawled along Highway 71 outside Austin, Texas. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was asleep in the booster seat behind him, her stuffed giraffe clutched to her chest. It was past 10 on a Friday night in late October, and Jake just wanted to get home, heat up leftover chili, and collapse. Then the lightning flashed, and he saw her. A patrol cruiser sat half in the ditch, emergency lights strobing red and blue against the downpour. The driver's door hung open. A figure in a dark uniform was on her knees in the mud, one hand pressed to her side, the other braced against the asphalt like she was trying to push the world back upright. Jake slammed on the brakes. The truck fishtail-ed, tires screaming. He threw it into park and jumped out, rain instantly soaking him to the bone. "Ma'am, officer, can you hear me?" She tried to lift her head. Blood ran from a gash above her eyebrow, mixing with the rain. Her duty belt was unclipped, her Glock missing. The name tape on her chest read Ramirez. "I'm hit," she rasped. "Suspect fled on foot, southbound." Her knees buckled. Jake caught her before she hit the ground. She was heavier than she looked. Body armor, gear, pure muscle, but trembling now like a leaf. "Lily, stay in the truck," he yelled over his shoulder, praying his daughter stayed put. He eased the officer onto her back in the glow of his headlights. The wound in her side was bad, dark arterial blood pulsing between her fingers. "Pressure," she gasped, trying to guide his hands. "Keep pressure." Jake ripped off his flannel shirt, wadded it, and pressed it hard against the hole just below her vest. She hissed in pain, eyes squeezing shut. "I got you. I got you. Stay with me." Her radio crackled on her shoulder, faint and frantic. "Unit 3B21, Officer Ramirez, status." "Mia, do you copy?" She tried to reach for it, but her arm fell limp. Jake snatched the radio. "This is, civilian on Highway 71, mile marker 38. Officer down, gunshot wound. She's bleeding bad. Send everybody now." The dispatcher's voice sharpened. "Sir, keep her talking. Help is en route. ETA 6 minutes. 6 minutes. In this storm, on these roads, it might as well be an hour." Mia's eyes fluttered open, finding his. Up close, even through the pain, she was younger than he expected, maybe 32, 33. Dark hair plastered to her forehead, lashes beaded with rain. "You got kids," she whispered. "One, Lily. She's in the truck. Tell her, I'm okay." A weak attempt at a smile. "Don't let her see the blood." Jake's throat closed. "You're gonna tell her yourself." Sirens finally wailed in the distance, growing louder. Mia's grip on his wrist loosened. "Stay with me, Mia. Come on, Officer Ramirez." Eyes open, she fought. God, she fought. But by the time the first ambulance slid to a stop, her pulse under Jake's fingers was a faint flutter. They took her from him like a relay baton, shouting vitals, ripping open trauma kits. Jake stood soaked and shaking, shirtless in the cold rain, watching strangers try to keep a woman alive who minutes ago had been a total stranger to him. One paramedic looked up from the gurney. "You the one who found her?" Jake could only nod. "You saved her life, man. That pressure you held bought us the time." They loaded her into the rig. Doors slammed. Lights and sirens tore off into the night. Jake climbed back into his truck, hands trembling on the wheel. Lily was sitting straight up now, eyes wide. "Daddy, was that a real police lady?" "Yeah, baby. Is she gonna die?" He met his daughter's terrified gaze in the rearview mirror. "Not if I can help it." 1 week later, Del Seaton Medical Center, Austin. Jake hadn't slept much since that night. Every time he closed his eyes he saw Mia Ramirez's blood on his hands, heard the wet sound of her breathing. He'd called the hospital daily, identifying himself only as the guy who found her, until finally a nurse took pity and told him she'd made it through surgery and was in the ICU. On day 8, he showed up with Lily clutching a handmade card covered in glitter glue that read "Get well, brave hero." The ICU nurse eyed him suspiciously. "Family only. I'm the reason she's still breathing," Jake said quietly. "Just 5 minutes." Something in his voice made her soften. She buzzed him in. Mia lay surrounded by machines, tubes in her arms, a ventilator tube taped to her mouth. Her face was swollen, bruised purple along one cheekbone. But her chest rose and fell on its own now. Jake stood at the foot of the bed, feeling like an intruder. "Hey," he said softly. "It's me, Jake Harlan, from the highway." Her eyes opened slowly, unfocused at first, then locking on him. Recognition flickered. She couldn't speak with the tube, but her fingers moved on the sheet, 2 weak taps. "Thank you." Jake's eyes burned. "You scared the hell out of us, you know that." Lily peeked around his leg, holding up the glitter card like an offering. Mia's gaze shifted to the little girl, and something softened in her face. She lifted her hand a fraction. Lily tiptoed forward and laid the card on the blanket. Mia tapped once this time. For Lily. Jake had to turn away for a second and wipe his eyes on his sleeve. 3 weeks later, they moved Mia out of ICU the day before Thanksgiving. Jake brought her a plate from his mom's kitchen, turkey, cornbread dressing, and pecan pie, because hospital food was a crime. She was sitting up now, pale and thin, but alive. The ventilator was gone. Her voice was hoarse from disuse. "You didn't have to keep coming," she said. "Yeah, I did." She studied him. "Why?" Jake shrugged, suddenly shy. "Guess I needed to see you breathing with my own eyes. After that night, I kept dreaming you stopped." Mia looked down at her hands. "They caught the guy. My backup found him hiding in a barn 6 miles away. I don't even remember the shooting. Just headlights, then pain, then you." Jake exhaled. "Good. One less monster on the street." She was quiet a long moment. "I owe you my life." "You don't owe me anything." Mia shook her head. "That's not how this works." Christmas Eve, 4 months after the shooting. Mia was discharged the week before Christmas, still on medical leave, still walking with a cane, still ordered not to lift anything heavier than 10 pounds. The department had put her up in an extended stay hotel near the hospital for physical therapy. It was lonely. Most of her cop friends were working holidays, and her parents were in Laredo, too far for daily visits. Jake showed up at her door with Lily and a sad little Charlie Brown Christmas tree he'd rescued from the Walmart parking lot. "We're kidnapping you for the holidays," he announced. Doctor's orders were no heavy lifting, not no tamales and presents. Mia laughed for the first time in months. It hurt her ribs, but it was worth it. That night she sat on Jake's couch in front of a roaring fire, watching Lily hang ornaments with the solemnity of a bomb tech. Jake's house was small, a 1950s ranch south of the river, but it was warm and loud with Christmas music and the smell of cinnamon. Mia realized she hadn't felt this at home since before the shooting. New Year's Day, Jake took her to the range, not to shoot, just to sit in the truck and watch the sunrise over the Colorado River. She needed to see if the smell of gunpowder still made her flinch. It didn't. "Progress. You ever think about quitting?" he asked quietly. "Every single day since I woke up," she admitted. "Then I remember that guy would have kept going if I hadn't stopped him. And I remember you holding my blood in with your shirt in the rain. And I think, maybe I'm not done yet." Jake nodded like he understood completely. Lily ran up then, cheeks red from the cold, and flung herself at Mia's good side. "Miss Mia, Daddy says when you're all better you can come live with us so you don't have to be alone in the hotel anymore. Is that true?" Mia's breath caught. She looked at Jake, eyebrows raised. He rubbed the back of his neck, ears pink. "I mean, the spare room's just sitting there. And Lily's already claimed you as her new best friend. And well, I cook a mean breakfast taco." Mia felt something crack open inside her chest, something that had been sealed shut since the night she almost died. "You sure you want a broken down cop with PTSD in a limp crashing your bachelor pad?" Jake met her eyes, steady and warm. "I'm sure I don't want you anywhere else." 6 months later, July 4th, the entire Travis County Sheriff's Office turned out for the barbecue at Jake's place. They'd heard rumors about the civilian who saved Ramirez, but nobody expected to find their toughest detective laughing in a backyard, teaching a 6-year-old how to flip burgers while a bearded contractor in a Longhorns cap kept stealing kisses when he thought no one was looking. Captain Delgado pulled Jake aside by the cooler. "You know she's like a daughter to half the department, right?" "Yes, sir. You heard her. We'll bury you where no one finds the body." Jake grinned. "Understood, sir." Delgado studied him a long minute, then stuck out his hand. "Welcome to the family, son." Later, when the fireworks started, Mia leaned against Jake on the porch steps, Lily asleep with her head in Mia's lap. "I never thanked you properly," Mia murmured. "You thank me every day you wake up and choose to keep fighting," Jake said. "That's enough." She tilted her head to look at him. "I used to think the job was my whole life. Turns out life is bigger than the badge." Jake brushed a strand of hair from her face. "Turns out sometimes the people we save end up saving us right back." Above them, the sky exploded in red, white, and blue. And for the first time in her life, Officer Mia Ramirez wasn't watching the fireworks alone. She was home.